Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday morning. It's live from Long Island with myself, David Gussin, and, the boss of Madhousetv, Mr. Tommy Mele.
Actually, the boss is sitting in the control room.
Well, that's
I
true.
gotta tell you, between her and Janine, it's, to both Tommy and I don't have a chance.
And thank God you guys don't have a chance. Vicky and Janine, I'd much rather work with them than you.
I gotta tell you, though, you look good for getting up at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning. You should be a newscaster. You know how those guys get up like 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Do you sleep?
No, I get up early, eat my everything bagel, and I'm ready to go. That's the trick to a morning happiness.
I'm not even going to go there because I noticed again for the second week in a row, I don't see any bagels here this morning. But that's all right because I'm on this crazy diet, so it doesn't matter anyway. Anyway, so we had an incredible week this past week.
We did.
Had our first networking party, which I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining us. It was a remarkable event. I didn't anticipate as many people that came. I wish we had a little bit more food, but
you had enough food. I'm glad you got to see it, though. You're here at Madhouse, and guys, if you're not here, you really should. Long Island should almost be proud of Madhouse. They are trendsetters, and it's starting, no surprise to me, from Long Island, New York. And you keep improving this, so you're here all the time. You're in your law practice, with you and your partners. But that night, you got to see, like, the people come together, and there's something to that action that takes place.
It was really interesting. I really didn't, I don't know what I was anticipating, but I saw, 30 some odd people, I guess, that were here. I really didn't count how many were here. But I saw the interaction, and what struck me was the people, if you saw, one person with this person, within 5 minutes, that person was with another person, and that one was and it seems like, everybody got around to the same one. Oh, before I start, I want to give a shout out. I met this incredible lady. I can't remember
Which
what
person,
her name
what did they do? Was it Betsy? From Betsy's Baskets?
No.
She
She was incredible.
She's incredible.
But I met this incredible. You remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about names?
Yes.
Okay,
you're talking about Charlene Jameson, whose daughter is not named Orange, but that's what she told you.
She comes up to me. Now, you know how I am when it comes down to names and the way things should be, or my perspective of the way things should be in society. And, I have an issue with names. And, some names I don't get, which we're not going to get into. But she comes up to me the night of the event, and she says, hi. She says, I watched your show. And I noticed that you had this thing with names. She says, I just want to let you know, with a complete straight face, my daughter's name is Orange. And, of course, I'm taken back now. I don't know what to say. My first reaction is, well, that's ridiculous. All right. But actually, the truth of the matter is I kind of like the name.
Okay.
Now, I don't know why, but I kind of like, I like the name Orange. I don't know. Maybe it's me. But anyway, so I said to her, I says, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. And she says, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. She didn't like that you made fun of names.
I
will bring
fun of them.
No, you did.
No.
Vicky, I'm not going to ask you to go to the videotape, but maybe next time we'll have to.
I didn't make
fun. You did.
I gave my opinion.
And your opinion was one that, no surprise, I disagreed with. I think that's what they like about the show.
Listen,
you want to know why I disagree? You want to know why I disagree?
Why?
Because in this world of fluff, and this world where they'll put up my super bratty Sweet 16 and put up all this crap for ratings, I hold me and you to a higher standard. And we're not
That's
supposed.
Your first mistake.
We're not supposed to be making fun of people's names. We're supposed to put on a great show, do things right, but show it the right. You're a politician. Politicians tell people, don't make fun, share, get along. No, so politicians, the leaders, tell our society, be nice, play nice, be respectful towards others. Yet they're so disrespectful towards each other.
Being disrespectful.
When you make fun of people's names and you were picking a region,
I said
you didn't make fun of Orange, but you made fun of other names.
Name. Oh, see, you're getting me all screwed up.
You get me flustered
in their
usually.
right mind, and I'm very rarely flustered.
I'm going to fluster you more.
Who in their right mind would name a child Abba-dabba-doo. All right?
Don't pay attention to
Who's
Mr.
going
Tom
to name
Mele.
a kid that?
I'm sure in some other country they wonder, where's this
I
name
can see
Tom
this
come
kid
from? Where'd this name Tom
I
come
can
from?
see
What's this
this
name
kid in
Tom?
kindergarten. Okay, what's your name over there in seat number 6? It's Abba-dabba-doo. What does the mother say? Come on, Abba, or Mr. Doo.
First of all, in the Flintstones, it was a very popular name, Abba Dabba Doo.
No, that wasn't a name. That was a slogan, Abba-dabba-doo.
What was it? Yabba Dabba
It
Doo.
meant excitement.
You know what's good, though? We're talking about this kind of stuff, meaning the bad stuff. I was looking at the headlines today, and I didn't see Ebola, and I guess the mass media is onto their next stuff. They have some lawyer having a divorce, all this fluffy stuff in the world. So maybe we're getting ready to end the year on a great note with good things happening, heading into a
I don't think
ending
so.
to. You don't think so?
No.
Why?
I mean, I don't want to. I thought we were going to stay out of the politics, but since you're dragging me back into it again, the elections were just up. What is the first thing Obama's doing right now? He just changed his
Playing golf?
other than playing golf, but he just
Sorry,
appointed
Mr. President.
a new
Attorney
member to his Attorney General to his cabinet. That woman.
Okay.
What's her name? Do you know her name?
Not certain. I could
couldn't
Google it,
remember.
but what's
You know
your
what? I
point?
don't remember her name. My mother actually says to me, maybe you should write it down in front of you. Ma, if you had to remember as many things as I had to remember during the day, you'd understand why I don't remember these names. But anyway, be it as it may, new Attorney General, he just, for the purposes of getting, quote, down to business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's only got 2 years left. So what happened to the 6 years prior to this?
I got to tell you, I've been thinking about that. I am not political. Always have respect for the president, no matter who it is, because I have respect and love for our
Am I
country.
starting to change your mind?
No, but I have a question. And Obama and Obamacare, and in some ways he's been disappointed, and I don't like the way he handles things. But on the other end, the stock market's at an all-time high.
And you think that's because of the president?
I didn't necessarily say that.
Oh, okay.
But I know one thing. If it dropped, the Republicans would be saying, look, it dropped. Obama, another thing, it dropped, blah, blah, blah. They'd be blaming him for dropping. But I don't see the people giving credit for going up. You see, to moderates in the world, the regular people, the silent majority that doesn't vote, we were talking about negative campaigning, they don't like the extremists and blaming. So are we just going to blame him for everything bad and not give credit for everything good?
That's the way society is.
It might be the way society is, but it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't really isn't the way society is. It's the way the
listen,
extremists
if you
report
want
it.
a
Media
right
has
world,
agenda. They
go
put their
find
agenda
yourself
out
an
there.
island somewhere in the South Pacific and get 1 or 2 people to live on it. Because society that we live in today, pretty much government is corrupt. No doubt about it. You know, I had somebody say to me the other day that the United States is the most corrupt government in the world. And I stopped and I thought about what they said for a minute. Think about it for a second. The president of our United States really does not have the final say in anything. So what's his purpose?
It's our system. I would doubt
He's a-
that.
he's a-
I would
he's a-
doubt
he's
that
a
we have the
faker?
most. Could we be the most corrupt? Maybe we're the most corrupt because we're the largest, so there's just more corruption to be
Russia?
there. Once again, our
China?
economy is far greater and far stronger than those countries. And from what I hear about China, you say so. I would think China's government is more corrupt. I would think their government and the powers that be benefit from being in it more than ours.
All right, I'll buy that.
I would think
I'm a
our
little
system
slow
is
this
more
morning.
open. I would think the people in our great country would have the chance to get rid of someone who is so corrupt, where in China they might have to sit back and the government rules. So I disagree with that. We are the biggest.
You think that we're heading down the path to something like China or Russia? You think we're heading down that path? What do you think? All of the other day, and I have to go with life experiences because that's what really leads me to believe that society that we're living in as a whole today is ridiculous. What do you think about this? I went to the gas station the other day. I put in my credit card, and now all of a sudden they're asking me questions. Zip code, different things that they're asking me. We talked about the cameras. We talked about you can't even get on the internet now without entering certain passwords and this and that. You don't think the government has something to do with this indirectly?
I think the free market has something to do with that.
Do you think that your identity is safe today?
No, no, no. If you want something secret and you don't put it on Facebook. Don't put it on the
Forget
internet.
Facebook. I had to look up a person a couple of days ago for something I was doing at the office, and I got on peoplesearch.com. And all I simply did was put in that person's cell phone, and it told me where they lived in Ronkonkoma.
Yeah, very. That is interesting. And then I want to get back. Yeah, that is true. I wonder if there could be a class action suit against the Googles of the world and the people who are
Somebody must be
invading people's privacy.
It's not invading their privacy.
Well, in some ways
you're
it is.
Inadvertently putting it in there, because all of the search engines that you come across, that whether you buy something from Amazon or you buy something from any of these online, they're asking you these things. And then how many times have you looked at the fine print that you have to click OK to, and it says important information, scroll to the bottom? Do you ever read everything and scroll to the bottom, or you just scroll and hit the button?
No, you just even hit the button because people are in a rush. Like they don't read the ticket on the side of the pillow.
So you can't
that
put
if you
a
rip
class
off
action
this,
suit against them.
if you rip off this tag on the pillow, you're subject to arrest. That used to scare the heck out of me as a kid, by the way. This is all new to us. In the last 20 years, the internet has changed the world.
Do you read those disclosures?
I do not read the disclosure. I click the button to go to agree to get to what I want as quickly as possible.
There's only one person on this earth that I know that would probably read that disclosure, and that's my father-in-law.
Your father-in-law would read it?
He would read the whole disclosure.
All 16 pages of it?
Whatever it took. He'd be there for a month if he had to read that disclosure.
Yeah. Actually, I think, hey, we're in a new world of the internet and information being shared and out there, and I really don't think there's fighting it. I think people need to understand what it is. I want to go back to something earlier you said. You said the gas lines. I was thinking in my head, but I had forgotten. I spoke about the stock market. You didn't give credit to Obama on it. And by the way, guys, respect for the presidency, not necessarily a fan of Obama or not a fan. But I know when gas prices were going up and you see stuff on the paper, they show stuff like, look, gas prices $4 and change, another thing about Obama. Yet I saw on the other end, gas prices were down to $2.99. I didn't see any, and that's something, I didn't see any of the extremists give him credit. I saw $2.99, I got it for $3.15 myself.
That's what I got it for,
$3.15. My point is it went from $4 to $3.15. I know for a fact that I saw the people who use social media and other things, when the gas prices were high, they were using it to poke Obama. When the gas prices went down, I didn't see any of them praising him. That's why politics is so disgusting. You can't have even-keel people, giving praise when it's due, criticizing when you feel it.
It's the world we live in, David. I mean, that's the way it is now. I mean, Obama really doesn't have a say in anything that gets done in this country.
Would that mean any president? That would mean any president doesn't
have
a say.
Well, no, I think.
So why does he not have a say and other presidents do?
To the early days of Thomas Jefferson, early days of this country, I think the president did have more to say. I think now that we have this division between the Republicans, the liberals, the Democrats, I think that now he really has nothing to say. Or any decision making. He can't just hit a gavel down and say, okay, you know what, this is the decision, go and do it. It's got to go through a million different steps before it gets done.
Question, you're an attorney. They say it about attorneys too sometimes. Behind the scenes, Democrats and Republicans, they fight in public like they're sharing their view. Behind the scenes, they're shaking hands, probably having dinner together at some place and put up a front. A third party would be wonderful in America. Both the Republicans and the Democrats.
There's actually 4 parties.
Man, a third party that has some oomph underneath it. They deserve to be challenged. There shouldn't just be 2 parties. It would be something. It should be called, guys, you ready for a new party? The Enough Already Party. Let's have an enough already party. The voice of the people coming together, telling these guys, enough already. Do you think we're all stupid?
All right, listen, we're gonna take a fast break here, and then we're gonna come back. But when we come back, I want to bring up the topic of this past election here, because one of my and I have to praise him, because my biggest support and inspiration in coming up with topics, believe it or not, is my son Devin. I speak to him every day on my way home, and him and I argue about issues all the time.
No.
And they're political issues. He's very conservative. I'm not. he's very Democrat. I don't know whether or not I am or not, but we had this incredible conversation on the way home that I want to get into with you because I know that you're going to side with him, and this is going to make for some interesting.
And I want to thank our sponsors when we get back. So
Yeah.
let's both do what we got to do.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Boom, we're back. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about. First of all, I wanna thank. We had one of our sponsors here, Peter Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed with him. I'm not very impressed with lawyers in general. I mean, in working for one of the largest PI law firms on the island, I work with a lot of lawyers, but he really impressed me, Peter Wagner. He's a real estate attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what impressed me the most about him was that his involvement and how he gets involved. It's not just a job to him. He really gets involved with the people he deals with.
They say people do business with people they like. I know he does Little League coaching and everything, and is in the community. It's his life.
Great guy.
And you feel he's genuine.
And that's what I like about it. And if you ever hear, if you those are on Long Island, if you ever hear my ad on television, some say it's a little sarcastic. What else is?
I thought you were very good.
But
I love to criticize you, but you were very good.
I don't like the phony crap, and Peter Wagner kind of brings the real deal to the table, and that's what impressed me about him.
Well, you mentioned one sponsor before we go on. Can I mention the other
Absolutely.
sponsors?
They're all fabulous.
Peter Wagner was here. We had someone representing podiatrist Mary Carlson. What makes me excited about that is their Shoes for All fundraiser is this week. Man, bring your shoes to Shoes for All, but bring your feet to Dr. Carlson. My buddy James Cruz couldn't make it, but like I said, he worked in Fortunoff for years as the assistant to the top people there. What excites me and why we like quality, buddy. When all said and done, the studio's quality, the networking and smart business activities quality. My buddy James Cruz, world-class quality at wholesale prices. That's Premier Jewelry. And, of course, if you like this sport jacket, certainly much more quality than the person wearing it. Janine Giargente, her clothes are literally around the world. And another world-class designer based right here in Melville, Long Island. What were you and your son, Devin, arguing about?
I got to admit, the kid grew up really good. And Not
Thank you,
not,
Vicky. Thank you, Vicky.
not by any anything that I did. I don't think, but he just has this genuine aura about him that I really get into talking to him, and we have a real close relationship. I think we should all be as lucky as I am. But be it as it may, as you know, Mario Cuomo got back in.
Andrew Cuomo.
I'm sorry, Andrew Cuomo.
Mario
What happens
helped.
when you
Mario,
get me up
Mario
at 8
helped
o'clock in
him.
the morning on a Sunday.
Like you and your son Devin, Mario and Andrew will probably work together. But yes, Andrew Cuomo
I don't
got
know
back
if they
in.
did, because his son Chris is on CNN. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris, I like.
Yeah, he stays out of politics. But anyway, Andrew is his views on abortion, and I know this is a real sensitive subject, is that he believes that women should have the right to decide whether or not they will or will not have abortion. What's your views on that?
Wow, that's tough. First of all, my views really don't matter to anyone but me, so it doesn't really matter.
So you wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold the boat.
My
In other words, you are agreeing with me
I'm
today?
going to tell you something. When I was 22 years old and I was told that I was going to have a child, I never thought anything about having that child. I couldn't wait to have my beautiful baby. 22, wasn't even ready for the world, but abortion didn't even come into my head. But I'm not here. Everyone has their own opinion.
You have a child?
But I have two beautiful daughters. One of them just got an additional scholarship in her fourth year, finish line
didn't know
scholarship. Two beautiful girls. You should read my Facebook page. But you know what? I'll give this one thought on abortion, because otherwise, have your opinion. They talk about the people who are for choice and a choice. Whose society to bring a child into the world without that love? Because more than anything, love rules everything. So the people are so adamant against it, man, to bring a human being into this world if they're not wanted. Meaning, if abortion was just illegal, you can't have it. Society's just bringing it in, and already they're missing the most key ingredient in the world, that unconditional love that everyone should feel. Who's society to say, no, you have to bring it when you don't want it? So that's just the thought.
I don't believe it. I thought for sure I was going to be going in there to get my boxing gloves with you.
What you thought?
I thought that you would be against it 110%.
No.
Well, all right. So let me bring it one step further. What do you think about the right for late abortion?
It would be similar. My opinion don't matter. I leave that up to the medical.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's assume that this child is 9 months to have a baby. I'm assuming, right? Give or take a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're 6 months into it.
You know what? I've seen the fetuses of babies, and to think that was put that wasn't brought to life saddens me. That would make me sad.
You think a woman should have a right to decide 6 months into it?
The answer actually is yes.
Okay.
Do they have the right to decide? Yes. Who is anyone to decide for them?
I wish my
And can't
son,
people have mixed emotions?
I wish
can't
my
people see both sides of it?
Yeah.
Not just, yes, you have to have that baby, or no, do whatever. Can't you see the sadness in it and all sides of it? So I could see all sides of it, but who's to decide for them?
I'm going to try something that I haven't tried before, because I'm going to see if I can't get Devin on the phone right now, because he is so anti-abortion, and he has some great points, and I want to see whether or not if we can do this. You mind?
No, not at all. And by the way, there's a difference between being pro-choice and pro-abortion. I don't know anyone who's pro-abortion.
All right, let's just see if we can do this. I highly doubt it, because, believe it or not, this child goes to church.
Okay,
Now,
that's a nice thing.
Well, I guess if you want.
Anyway, pro-choice and pro-abortion are two different things. So pro-abortion would be that they want people to have abortion. They want them to. There are some crazy people like that out there. Let them live in their own little world.
He must be either getting the babies dressed, or he's already out, or usually he loses his phone. This happens on a daily basis, but he's not answering, so. Nope, I'm going to assume maybe he'll call back.
Okay.
But anyway, what the argument was about was that Cuomo feels that women should have the right, and I agree with him, and I'm glad he won the election. But he feels that that they should have the right, and Devin told me that that shouldn't be, that they should not have a right. And my thought was this: for late abortion, not just necessarily early abortion or early termination, is let's assume for 1 minute, and there's a lot of, would you say there's a lot of single family, single mothers, single dads in this world?
Yes.
There is. Well, let's go back to the woman, a single woman, who decides, you know what, she doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to have any part of a man. You know, she's sick of, she don't want to be tied. She's got a career on Wall Street. She's this big-time executive, but she wants to have a child.
Right.
Okay. Let's say 6, 7 months into that pregnancy, she finds out, because you can do it nowadays, that there's something wrong with that child.
Yep.
That, maybe there's a disability or it's deformed or whatever the case may be. If that law said that the woman could not abort that child, then that means everything that she strived for, let's assume she's in her 30s, mid-30s, between the time that she got out of college or out of high school through college, and she's now 35, 38 years old, she's moving forward in the workplace, and that child that she wanted to have has a disability. That disability is now going to require her to give up her career that she's worked so hard for in order to stay home now and take care of that child. Should it not be her decision at that point to say, you know what, I tried, there's an issue here, I'll try again, I'm going to abort before the child's born? Do you think she has the right to do that?
Once again, that wouldn't necessarily have to be a single woman. That could be a married.
that
could be a married couple making a decision.
Yes, it could be a married
Absolutely.
couple. But some people are made to, like Devin. He's if God forbid the day ever came that him and his wife had another child and there was a disability of any kind, those two, they're made for this. He's a director right now of a facility with adults with special needs. He's into this, and he would be a great father for whether the child was disabled or not disabled. But for me, I don't know whether or not I would be able to do that.
Which part? Do what?
Have a child that I would have to.
Have the child.
I would have to change what I do in order to now take care of that child that has a special. I don't know that I could do. Maybe my mind would change when the child's born, but I don't know for today if that would happen.
So look, even you, one individual person that doesn't even face the situation, could see both sides of the issue. I like when people could see both sides of the issue. Once again, if you see the fetus of a baby that was aborted, you wonder, wow, how could this happen? On the other end, those people who are so against it, you know what? When they have a baby and if they find out something's wrong with it, let them not abort it. But let them have their point of view. Who are they to speak? Who are they to speak for anyone else? Mind your own business.
I want to
take care of it for yourself and let other people do what they want to do. I'm going to tell you something. Abortion is never going to go back in America. It's not going to go back. No one's going to tell women what to do. You want to get this country in an uproar? You get enough women upset and watch them stand up. It's not going to happen. So all the people with their strong religious views, good luck to them. Why do so many politicians, when they're in their church or something, and if religiously I'm against it, but when they're a politician, they're for it? Why are they wishy-washy on it? Why do they change for their own personal views, but they're afraid if they say that they're against abortion, they'll lose the vote? They'll lose the vote. They do that all the time.
Well, it's because politicians are corrupt anyway, and I don't want to go
Giuliani did that. Personally, for him, abortion was no good. But he might not have wish-washed. He might have still been against abortion. I'm not sure.
All right, we're gonna take a fast break. I'm gonna try to get him on the phone because this would really be interesting to hear his point of view. But we'll be right back after this message. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidiscipline practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
We could talk about politics until the cows come home, and I just spoke with Devin. As you know, he's going to come on next Sunday because he's got two little kids at home, and he dropped his razor kit, and it's all over the floor.
Dangerous.
And, you know, I mean, hey, listen, been there, done that. So, but anyway, you know, the whole premise of this show was to unite businesses, and we talked about businesses and business community. And we don't want to deviate from that at all.
Yeah, you're the deviator of that.
I'm a deviator.
I like the other night when we were
here. You bring it
here.
up and you aggravate me, and I have to say
The other
something.
night when we were here, I did my little Hulk Hogan impression, and that's because the sound of igniting business was in the air. The sound of networking was in the air.
I think that, you know, on Long Island, you know, the whole idea about igniting businesses, and I like that term, igniting.
I'll
Because,
take
you know what?
credit for that one. Igniting
You
business.
came up with that?
Yes. We named after the $700 billion bailout, which came right before Obama was elected at the end of
Again, you're getting into
2007. No.
Good.
We named 2008 the year of igniting business. And we named 2009 the year of igniting business.
I like the idea, the word igniting, because it reminds me of kind of like a firecracker.
It makes
going
you feel
off.
something, man.
You know,
It's
it
a
does.
philosophy. Igniting business, a
Do you
system.
have the website, ignitingbusinesses.com?
Actually, I have
Vicky,
igniting.
get it before he buys it.
I have the website. Actually, this is what I have. ignitingbusinesstour.com. Because Igniting Business, we're going to start from Long Island. So I do own Igniting Business Tour. And we're going to start in Long Island.
Business tour.
We're going to go on an Igniting Business Tour
the hell
across
is a tour
America.
part
A
of
tour, like a tour bus. Don't worry, it's all being done. A tour bus. And we're going to start on one end of the country. Thankfully, we're at the tip on the East Coast here. We're going to start in Long Island, where it should start. And we're going to ignite business across America. And igniting business is a nice term to him. But it's about, one starts with your hard work, determination, quality product, and service. If you don't have that, no one can help you. After that, it's about using multiple tools. In the old days, you didn't have many tools, but today, business owners have so many, they don't even know which ones to choose. So about using multiple tools. Mixing web with warmth. Man, everyone thought the web would be their magical salesperson for them, and they'd like it to, but that's not the way it is. I want to get to the top of Google, the website. No, your website should be pristine. One period, it shouldn't be off. But the warmth came from the other night of bringing people together. Making quality connections. It happened. Let me finish. Make yourself easy to remember. Live from LI.com. Part of the Madhouse team. Easy to remember. 516 ads. Easy to remember. Everything Bagel. Easy to remember. And getting out there and making things happen. Man, if you're waiting for business to come to you, you'll be waiting forever. You got to make a conscientious effort to bust your butt every day. Get out there and make things happen. That's what igniting business is all about.
I agree, and I think that breaking your
Butt.
Butt.
B-U-T-T.
Yeah, well, I was going to use
I saw your
word.
spelling. That's two T's in that butt.
Yeah, I was going to use another one that begins with an A. But anyway, breaking your butt
right.
with two T's.
With two T's.
To bring businesses together. I always said that the world doesn't meet you halfway. You want it, you got to go and get it. Mm-hmm. And it's a true saying, and I got that saying from a show I remember years ago, Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. And it's so true to this day, and I even use it to this day. But most people in general think that they can just sit back and it's going to come to them. It doesn't work that way. If you want to be successful in this world, in these businesses out there, you have to ignite your business, as you say. You have to go out there and you have to do the work. It's not going to come to you. Too many people think that, things are going to come to them. They're going to sit behind, they're going to act stupid, and things are going to come to them. If you want it, you got to go get it. Like the people that were here that night, they came here so that they can present their product to somebody else who may present that to somebody else. It's like a video that goes viral, One person sees that clip and they like it and they tell another person. And that person tells another person. But you can't ignite that video or ignite that business if you don't place it in a place that can be viewed by literally hundreds of thousands of people.
That viral video and stuff like it is the cherry on top of the sundae. But it's the hard work all the time, the cumulative effect that leads to it. Those things happen by accident, but it's doing the little things every day.
I tell you, most businesses really do start by accident. If you look at a lot of success, do you know that JCPenney's went bankrupt, I think, 14 times before he came up? I mean, JCPenney's, as we know it today.
Who went bankrupt more than JCPenney or Donald Trump?
Another one. But listen, first of all, don't get me started on Donald Trump, all right? Because I think the man is a wuss, all right? I think that Rosie O'Donnell is right when she talks about Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. That man was born with a golden spoon in his mouth.
He had a nice head
You
start.
weren't, were you?
No.
I wasn't.
No.
All right? So if my father, which will never happen in a million years, gave me $10 million and said, hey, Tom, go out and start a business, yeah, I would be successful if I had the name Trump, all right? But you take that guy, let's go back, how old is he now, 60-something, whatever he is? Let's go back 60 years. If his father didn't give him that money to start his business, people don't know that. Today, who knows where he'd be? He'd probably have that hairpiece. He wouldn't have it. He'd be bald. He'd be, who knows, maybe in the real world.
Okay, I'm sorry I brought up Trump, but let's go back to the other part of, most people, there's usually one brat in the class, and the other 20-some-odd kids are well-behaved. See, most people are well-behaved. In business, guys, though, you do need to stand out from the crowd. You do need to be a little dynamic. You do need to get out of your comfort zone. You don't want to be like everyone if you want to be super successful. You want to be extraordinary. And that takes people getting out of their comfort zone. And people must know that they need to do that. And also almost any businesses, even doctors are salespeople. Even attorneys are salespeople. Guys, be proud to be a salesperson. Because no one likes salespeople. And people like to be liked. So they don't like selling. They don't like getting on the phone and asking people for money and do business because they don't like it themselves. Well, you know what? You got to get on the phone and you got to sell and you got to work. And like I said, embrace it. Be proud of it. Because there's no business that ever got started that someone didn't get on the phone or go shake hands somewhere and meet people to help build it and let them know it's out there.
True. You know, I remember when I was in college, they said, you know, don't, and I took a lot of psychology courses, and I remember one of the professors says that if you want to make a name for yourself, you need to step out of the box. There's no doubt about it. And to this day, I still push on that. If you want to be successful, you have to step out of the box and get out of that comfort zone and go out there and push it. And it's true.
And Tommy is, like I said, man, you do your stuff. This is what I do, guys, what Tommy's talking about now. And people for years have been saying, you know, think outside the box. That's already old. Create your own shapes. Create your own shapes. Create your own media. You all can do it. Turn yourself into the next Facebook. It's not being bigger than them, but better to brand who you are. One tiny percentage of what they are, then count on them. Brand yourself. Create your own shapes. Create your own media. You got a phone. You got a mouth. You got a computer. You can accomplish anything in the business world.
You go back to the same theory again. You know, most people are lazy. You know, and people that want to be successful cannot be lazy.
No, you can't be lazy. That thing of hunger. You know, they say countries and people, they go through cycles. The cycle of the depression. The cycle of our parents coming up during tough times, working hard, that hard work ethic that we talk about with World War II. But then people start doing better. Their kids start getting more comfortable because their parents love their kid and they want to give them, and it's a little bit more fluffy. It's not as hard. Well, you know what? That generation comes and they happen not to work as hard. They miss a little bit of that hunger. People need to have hunger.
Well, that's what I said on a couple of shows back. Most kids today are lazy because the parents are making them lazy.
Yeah, the system, the way it works. It's funny. Shockingly, in the old days, there was a lot of great Jewish fighters. Who would think? Today, you wouldn't even think of a Jewish fighter. But notice,
you didn't even think a Jewish could fight.
Yeah, no, they even got some good.
Who do you name a Jewish boxer? Who do you know?
There was a light heavyweight, Mark Rothenberger, back in the 70s and
Really?
stuff. Yeah. But I have the last name wrong. But a Jewish fighter. But they used to fight strong. And then different people who struggle most, the culture that's struggling most in America, that's the ones that's producing the best fighters. And when when that culture starts doing better, they produce less fighters because they're not fighting.
You know, that's a real good point. And let's get into the issue of Judaism, all right? Because you're right. You know, if you think back to the Jews and what they went through with Hitler and all of those people that were murdered because of that guy, and you look at the Jewish population today, a lot of Jewish doctors, a lot of Jewish accountants, a lot of Jewish lawyers, and it's true. I think that statement is true.
As a Jewish person, the first thing I like to do when you mention Hitler is to mention that it wasn't just Jewish people that were killed. We often hear about 6 million Jews, but he killed many people, millions of people.
But he targeted the Jews.
Oh, no, certainly did. That's what's known for him. By all means, yes. But out of respect to society and people who are watching, if I only said it was just about the Jews, it would be wrong of me. So from this one Jewish person in the world, no, it wasn't just about Jewish people. It was about many people, and he was just a horrible man.
Do you still hold, you know, and again, I don't want to get off the subject of businesses because that's what it's about. Do you still hold, as a Jewish individual, I got to ask you this, do you hold Germany, do you still have a grudge against the German people?
No, I know people who do. I don't look at it that way. But I heard something, and it was somewhat interesting. You know, you let one little it only takes a few to ruin things for many. I'm pretty sure everywhere in the world, even right now in the countries that we fight against, the Middle Eastern world, I'm sure most people, when their child falls and cut their knees, they cry. My point is, most people, I believe, have love in their hearts. But there's that silent majority that sits back, and they don't do anything about it. And then they just become part of whatever happens to them. So I really don't hold it against Germany. Sometimes I even wonder when I'm discussing with people, should someone, is it right to hate Hitler's child? Hitler was such a bad man, but that doesn't mean his child. And I'm not saying, I don't even know who his child would be, but even if he didn't have one. Hitler was horrible. Does that mean his son was horrible? Maybe his son didn't agree with his dad. I don't know, but it is funny how that works. And the other thing I just have to say about Hitler, you brought him up, so horrible. Man, if a person could want to spread so much hatred, man, why can't a person want to spread so much love in the opposite? I got to tell you, I could almost choke up from this. Hitler spread so much hate. I do this show, guys. My whole real platform, business is nice. It's to spread love in this world. Man, learn. Let's end all racism now. Learn. Love, excellence, respect now. Learn. Goodness, speaking up. The voices of loving, caring people need to be heard. So my thing, man, if one person could spread so much hate, why can't a person want to spread so much love? I know there's a lot of people who want to spread love, but goodness is quiet. See, most loving people, they don't want to cause a fuss. In today's world, guys, we all need to come together. Good people like us need to come together and speak up and spread love in this world. Man, sort of like that. Enough already.
I don't know. You know, I don't know.
What don't you know? You don't think we need to spread love in this world?
You know, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. You know, yesterday I had a conversation with this person, you know, regarding Al Sharpton. To me, the man is one of the biggest. You know, I want to use language that you won't let me use.
Don't use it.
I'm not going to use it.
But
you know what I'm going to say.
Nice way.
All right.
Go on.
He
I
is
think
the
we're gonna.
biggest damn instigator that's out there today when it comes to racism. He is an instigator. He starts all of this crap. You never see Al Sharpton wanting to spread the love and the peace and the flowers.
We're gonna have to come back. We're gonna have to come back to that because they're telling me we got to go to commercial. But this is how we're gonna start the last segment. We'll do it.
Listen, and if you don't like what I have to say, you know, listen. It's just my opinion. It's not the opinions of this station or this company. It's my personal opinion.
And that's what we're here to discuss, and we'll discuss it. We'll be back right after this.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv.
You are the man.
I am Tom Mele for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is one of the largest suppliers in the world and your #1 resource for top quality, affordable tattoo and piercing supplies. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply is the #1 supplier of tattoo inks in the world with more than 200 products including Mom's Ink, Philadelphia Eddie's Traditional Inks, Paolini Sacred Color Inks, and more. Technical Worldwide Tattoo Supply, your one-stop shopping destination for great service, best prices, and top quality supplies. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are undeniably distinctive, selected for their unique, memorable flavor. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are delivered to you in beautifully designed bottles featuring limited edition artwork. Coney Island Carlos vintage wines and premium spirits are available at affordable prices in fine restaurants, bars, and liquor stores. Or check www.coneyislandcarlo.com for availability.
And we're back. Once again, Tommy, whether it be this show or whether it be that wonderful networking / smart business activity we had the other night, we can't do it without our sponsors. So whether it be the gentleman you were very impressed with, Peter Wagner. Man, set him up with your other attorneys. Let's get some business going there. Peter Wagner, a real estate attorney. Whether it be the host of this week's Shoes for All fundraiser, Dr. Mary Carlson. Whether it be world-class jeweler, Premier Jewelry, my buddy James Cruz, or whether it be Janine Giorgente from Giorgente, New York, we can't do it without our sponsors. Tommy, you were getting into some stuff, but I'm doing great stuff this afternoon. What are you doing, buddy?
Well, I just want to say that, you know what, I don't want to get into this whole issue with Al Sharpton. He's a single individual. I have my opinion about him. I have the utmost respect for all nationalities. Without a doubt, I've got very, very close friends, all ethnic friends.
Boy, the stereo. You sound funny, man.
No, I just don't like the guy. All right, to me, he's a waste of human skin. That's my opinion.
That's your opinion,
and I'm
you're allowed
end it right now.
And I actually like it when you have on the show. But meanwhile, what I'm doing some great stuff this afternoon in Long Island. What are you doing?
We have a few. I just want to mention a couple of things before we get into that.
You do it, buddy.
Madhousetv, as you know, it keeps growing and growing and growing. Mm-hmm. You know, we had a lot of sponsor program here the other night. We have a lot of people that are doing shows here. Be it as it may, I like to let people know when we seem to take that leap, you know, and it's really comforting for me. The other day, I don't know if you know, we were asked by a promoter who is actually works with a promoter who does the Night of 100 Stars at the Kodak Theater in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And he actually called this individual, who spoke to individual number 3, who contacted us and said, listen, they want the Madhouse crew out there on the red carpet at the Kodak Theater February 22nd for Night of 100 Stars. We're going to be with all the celebrities. In fact, we even have passes to the after party, which is really exciting. And that's exciting for us because that tells us, and it tells you folks that are listening, that people are watching. This is no longer a hobby or a joke. This is the real deal. And there's a lot of them popping up out there, a lot of people that want to be like Madhousetv, and I give them a lot of credit. But at the end of the day, there's only one.
Hey, you know, that's my field. I want to totally congratulate the Madhouse team. I want to thank the Madhouse team. We were here the other night, and one thing we both agreed on is we like to both give a platform to regular people in the community to be heard. But, guys, if you haven't been here, really just visit the studio. This is no sales job for this gentleman over here or the team, Vicky and Tommy and Janine. They're doing great work, and you guys are giving a platform.
Don't be taken back. One more thing. Don't be taken back by these internet broadcasting studios that are popping up that say it's going to cost you $500 to be on the show. That's ridiculous. That's not what it was designed for.
I saw a thing, $950 to be on an interview.
Be ridiculous. All right? These people are into it for their pocket. Hey, listen, it's not cheap running the studio by no means.
And you care about money, too. You know,
but
at the
end of the day, we're going to go back to the premise of what we were built by. We were built with the understanding that we were going to give a platform to these companies, these non-for-profits that couldn't afford to get their message out. So don't be taken by these people who say, well, come on my show, it's going to cost you $500 to come on for a half hour. That's crap, all right? We get the same message out. Let me tell you something. We're nowhere even near that price line, all right, to get it out. We try to keep the studio going. You want quality. You want performance. You want the best that there is when it comes to audio and video. You come and give us a call here at Madhouse TV Studios.
If you took money out of the equation and everything was free, Madhouse has it going on. Live TV, you guys are just doing tremendous work.
I just get aggravated with all of these people that are popping up in there. You know what? All they care about is padding their pockets, and you wind up being in a shoe closet with a camera.
I'm sure they care about money. I'm not worried what they do. I do want to congratulate my buddy here and the team here for doing a great job. My reputation is made on telling what's good for businesses and them. You guys are doing a great job. I don't know what the other people do. They might have a wonderful heart and want to do it for good reasons too, but they don't got this. They don't got what you got going on here, buddy.
Be it as it may, what are you doing this weekend? We got a few minutes
left.
You going to watch the Jets?
Well, we don't got to watch sports. I think the Knicks are on a 4-game losing streak. The Giants are on a 3-game losing streak. The Jets are on an 8-game losing streak.
9.
Going on 9.
Going on 9.
Actually, the Jets, it was very funny. I want to thank the New York Jets. They provided me the perfect nap time on a Sunday afternoon. No reason to have to watch it.
Yeah, you just watch it when it starts. You get up when it ends.
But I am going to the Inn. And we often mention the Inn. And guys, there's many great charities on Long Island. And I like a place like the Inn. They work with many of them. But I was even told more by, I believe, 22 homes on Long Island serve over 400,000 Long Islanders every year. And today there's a celebration, a party going on at the Mary Brennan home in Hempstead. We were an invited guest. I'm actually bringing a teenager with me. They want the children. The same way I wasn't invited to the red carpet in California, buddy. They had a limited seating, so they don't know you yet. But I'm going to have to get them in touch with you. But I was invited.
I could walk in there today to get something to eat. I can't do it.
I would be able to arrange it for you if you wanted, but I'm sure you have plans of your own. But that's where I'll be this afternoon. Hey, Long Island's a beautiful place. I was at a place called Mondays in Huntington the other day. I was looking up best brunch, and there's this place in Huntington, Mondays, and there was this beautiful park there, right next to it, not too far away. It was just wonderful. I think Long Island is one of the greatest places to live in the entire country. Minutes from New York City, an hour drive from the Hamptons, best schools in the country, beautiful parks, beautiful beaches. Yes, our taxes are high. Yes, there's improvements to be made. Yes, we always have to watch over our local politicians. But I feel very fortunate to live in Long Island, New York. What's your thought on that, Mele? You disagree with me on that too, or we're in agreement?
You know what? Long Island's not a bad place to live. I have to admit. It's not a bad place. Do I have some issues with Long Island? Yeah, the traffic is terrible.
Take 135. There's never traffic on 135.
You know, Long Island Expressway is a parking lot. You know, just recently the Northern State collapsed. All these people lost their tires. You know, I think that for the amount of taxes that we pay here on Long Island, I think that the program for bettering our highways should be looked at a little bit more in detail. I know that years ago they talked about doing a Long Island Expressway double-decker program. I thought that that was a wonderful idea, but obviously it was never taken off the ground. I think what's happening now with Long Island, even though, yes, we have beautiful parks, we have beautiful beaches,
top quality
schools, you know, we have great restaurants, we have beautiful homes, you know, there's no doubt about it. But the problem is, and again, we get back to politicians and we get back to politics, and it always seems to revert back to that. For all the money that we're paying in taxes to live on this island, you think the single most important thing, transportation, would be addressed better than it is?
Yeah, I don't even want to just blame politicians, and obviously we're down to the last minutes of the show, but you would think that we should consolidate something with the school districts. Yet at the same time, would we have that top-level school districts that we absolutely do have if they weren't micromanaged? So I really don't know the answer. Obviously, money would be saved if some of the stuff was consolidated. There's a lot of duplicate work going on in the school districts. Every town has their own district. Yet would the quality be as good? You don't think it's an issue?
You know, I think it is an issue with the school district. And I tell you something that really starts to burn my tail even more is, do you folks think that when your kids are out of school, do you think that your school taxes should be as high as they are? Or do you think they should be regulated?
A topic for another show. Tommy, I guess we got a minute or so left. Usually you give me the last word, and if I don't even have any signals. Guys, my last word of the show is, man, if you have the ability to make someone happy, do it. The world needs more of that. My cynical co-host, Mr. Mele, what's your last word of the week?
My opinion is, you know what, don't be a phony. Be real. If you have something to say, say it.
Say it on Madhousetv.
You know, don't be insulting. But if you have something to say, say it. I know I was insulting.
Don't be insulting. You make fun of people's names. Forget Sharpton. He deserves some ridicule. You made people's, and you say don't be insulting. Tommy, that's why I say we can't do that.
I'm not insulting. I don't mean to be insulting. I give my opinion the way it is. I tell it the way it is. I don't like holding anything back. And that's just me.
Hey, I want to thank your partners, Tommy Ma, Vicky, Tommy's wife. You guys make this all possible. Jerry Parisi, I want to thank him too. He's been doing great work here.
Who?
Mr. Parisi?
Who?
Oh, okay. You might not know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he's not.
Jerry's a good guy. I just kid. I break his chops a lot. But anyway, until next week, David, have a wonderful day today.
Have a good week, buddy.
We'll be back next week. We have a guest coming in next week. We'll be talking about it on Facebook. And you have any questions regarding today's show? you can give us an email at madhousetv@aol.com. You can visit us on our website. Go to the longislandview.com. There's an area right there where they can send us some comments on today's show. We'd love to hear from you. Until then,
Thanks for joining us.
have a wonderful week.
Have a great week, guys.